Welcome to the Moura channel. The Moura channel offers a mix of exclusive and diverse content. We have a playlist specially dedicated to independent music, design art, and cultural themes. Don't miss the opportunity to explore, learn, and discover new things with our channel. Sign up now and follow our regular updates.
In this video we are sharing one of our favorite top-motion medieval stories, The Warrior. The Warrior is a story about a brave young man who sets out to save his kingdom from the evil clutches that threaten to take it over. It's a story about courage and determination. We will be exploring the world of knights, dragons, and more. If you are a fan of medieval stories, this story is made for you. The eagle that looked more like a trained watchman hovered in the woods around the village. In the village, the poorest houses were simple and made of wood and mud, with thatched roofs. Residents kept food crops and medicinal herbs in small backyards, as well as raising chickens and pigs. A strange mood hung over the village. What the villagers didn't know is that the watchful eagle was a mutant girl endowed with great powers and who lived among them. It was her own secret and not revealed. If the dark dragon gained access to the medieval village without the top-motion warrior knowing about it first, it would be a disaster for the villagers. The simple houses made of precarious materials would be easily destroyed by the attacks of the dragon, probably tamed by the enemy. Small backyards and food and medicinal herb crops would be raised, and chicken and pig herds would be stolen or killed. Furthermore, many lives would be lost as most of the villagers lacked combat training and would not be able to defend against the dark dragon's abilities. The presence of the topmost warrior was essential to protect the village and ensure the survival of the residents if he was also not targeted by the enemy. Due to the speed of the dragon crossing the village's air, it would be impossible for the king's soldiers to fight the evil dragon. He would always have to have the sentry in constant support of the village population, the lookouts patrolling the settlement, and the topmost warrior, knowledgeable in how to capture and tame these dragons in action.
Subscribe now and follow our regular updates.
Everyone knew that there were different appearances among dragons. There were males and females and breeding through eggs. But the idea of any king was not to exterminate the dragons, but to tame them and make them a powerful ally of the king, making him invincible and powerful. But I think some other king already knew that. Everyone knew that there were different appearances among dragons. There were males and females and breeding through eggs. But the idea of any king was not to exterminate the dragons, but to tame them and make them a powerful ally of the king, making him invincible and powerful. But I think some other king already knew that. The sages of the castle, through various researches and studies, discovered, but could not explain how, in addition to the existence of several races of dragons that lived in flocks, they were also mutants. Among them there was only one breed of dragon that was native and not mutated. It was difficult to find the place where they stayed because part of the day they transformed into human beings, except the native dragons. Native dragons were easy to tame, but they did not fly high or over long distances. It fed on vegetables and emitted sounds that vibrated in the skull of any human being, making it impossible to stay close to that animal. The sages lived in conference to find a way to resolve the situation. In other times the winged horse appeared and was of great use for any rain. These horses did not accept wagons, buggies, etc. It flew long distances, which was used by the messengers of the kingdom. However, some had him as a pet because they are easy to live with humans. The queen, for example, had one for walks of her own. With the emergence of dragons it was very useful to have one of these animals. There were some subjects in the kingdom who, at night, pretended to be residents of the village and went to the taverns to drink and have fun in the fashion of the villagers. Until one of those nights when he arrived at the tavern, all the people he knew were gone. Did you like the story?
Subscribe now and follow our regular updates. Stay on top of the news presented on the channel.